Wow, it's great to be here today, and I want to thank your sponsors for getting you here. This is quite a crowd, so thank you. So, coming from the National Education Association's perspective, we understand as educators how important it is for children to have a home of their own. And I'm sure everyone here understands that home is a child's universe, right? So having a stable environment to call home helps children concentrate better. They can learn, they can dream, they can be inventive, they can be curious about the world. And all families should have a place to call home. Should be safe and affordable. We feel that housing is a right, just the way that public education is a right, the way that voting rights is a right, and the way that civil rights are a right. Homeless children are disproportionately minorities and LGBTQ students. They are the ones most likely to be held back, fail courses, attend school irregularly, and drop out altogether. But none of this is surprising, because when you're consumed with things, with survival, nothing else really matters. So we applaud the efforts of the House Financial Services Committee under Chairwoman Maxine Waters and actually the Congresswoman who just left, in taking closer looks at continuing whatever they can do in this crisis of homelessness in America and the impact that the nationwide shortage of affordable housing has brought to our needs here. The hearing back in February focused on legislative proposals such as the Ending Homelessness Act of 2019. I don't know if you all have heard about that. You probably have. But anyway, Chairwoman Waters wanted to provide, and she wants to provide, $13 billion over 5 years to several critical federal housing programs and initiatives. There's also draft legislation that aims to permanently reauthorize the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. And this is a council, an agency that Congress created to coordinate the federal responses to homelessness across relevant federal agencies. So the 2018 Annual Homeless Assessment Report, AHARS, it's known by, released by HUD, provided an estimate of some numbers I want to share with you today. Numbers that you probably already know, but I want to reiterate them. So 552,000 people, over 552,000 people experience homelessness in the nation on a single night. This is an increase compared to the previous year. And in examining the demographics of the people experiencing homelessness, they found that nearly 160,000 children and youth experience homelessness, and over 216,000 women and girls. African Americans comprise 40% of all people experiencing homelessness, despite making up only 13% of the nation's general population. And the Hispanic or Latinx people comprise 25%. The data also revealed that nearly 9% of veterans experienced homelessness in 2018. The report showed that the greatest progress in reducing homelessness was among veterans. And you want to know why? It's created to the increase in funding for the population. So yes, yahoo to that, right? So causes cited in the report credit the growing real housing crisis in many parts of the country as a contributor in driving the lowest income families in homelessness. The National Low Income Housing Coalition reports that there's a shortage of more than 7.2% million rental homes that are affordable and available to the lowest income renter households. So 71% of the lowest income renter households are severely cost burdened. They spend more of their incomes on rent and utilities. This is just a shame. So NEA takes pride in belonging to the Opportunity Starts at Home Coalition and Steering Committee, because we believe that students have a better chance when they have the security of a home. They have a better chance of graduating from high school. So we're aware that our union, our national America, that we face the shortage of 7 million affordable homes. For every 100 of the lowest income families in America, only 35 homes are affordable and available. And this is barely out of the 4 families actually get the help that they need. Many families are pushed toward poverty even more because they're paying rent that they just can't afford. And guess what happens then? I mean, I saw the support from this young lady in California. It was really, really sad. She drove a Lexus, but she lived in it. and she had to live in it because she couldn't afford the rent. Really sad. We realize that housing advocates can't fix this affordable housing crisis alone. It takes all of us. It takes educators, it takes health care providers, civil rights organizations, and most importantly, it takes you to pitch in, and so we thank you for doing that. Housing touches every aspect of our life, and a home is more than a structure. As I said earlier, home is a child's universe. And unless we come all together to advocate for solutions, many kids won't have the stability and security that they deserve to succeed. We know that many of the Trump administration policies are taking us in the wrong direction. They continue to attack the poorest families. Even yesterday, the administration started a plan making it harder for poor families to receive Medicaid and food stamps. Boo to that. Yep, there's no boo, really. There's no doubt that our nation has the power and the resources to help families and to address homelessness. What we lack is the will. What this nation lacks is the will. What you bring today is the will. So thank you. And as educators, we will continue to do everything that we can to ensure that all students, even those without zip codes, have an educational experience that nurtures and inspires them. I want to give you one answer that we see helpful, that we can help with in this area of homelessness. We see community schools as an important asset to help do this. They offer not only rigorous academic programs, but also social services to support families in trouble. They provide classes for parents who are English language learners. They gather food and clothes for students and families. They have dental and health clinics. They have parent coordinators who can link families with resources to help steady them. So community schools is a point forward, a very good point forward. But the real answer is to end homelessness and the struggle of the poorest families for safe and affordable homes. We acknowledge also that educators struggle with the salaries that they receive. And some of you have heard from the Red to Ed campaign. How many have heard about that? Red to Ed? Well, there's a Red to Ed campaign. And it only takes a second to learn a bit about it. I asked you to go ahead and look it up. But anyway, educators are taking second and some even third jobs to make ends meet. So not only are students affected, so are our educators. In concluding, I just want you to know that NEA is committed to making our voices heard on this issue, and we're committed to every single student and every educator. And we thank you for joining in this fight. Thank you.